Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. What's up? We're gonna have a discussion today. We're gonna talk. Occasionally I like to do these. I'm in my PJs, I'm comfy, got my blanket, we're good to go. All right, so what are we gonna talk about today? Well, let me tell you. Okay. Normally when I make a video, I think about it for a couple of days, then I make the video. I thought about this for about 15 minutes and I push play. So this is going to be scatterbrained and everywhere. But that's fine. It's how I roll. When I create content for my channel, I want to create content that is helpful. And when I think about what could be helpful, I think about things that could help me when I first started out in life. Like when I first married Dusty and we started a family, I like to think about things like that. Like what could have helped me back then? And that's the kind of content that I want to create here. I also like to think about my parents back in the day before the whole YouTube world existed. We had the internet and things like that, but like this type of platform did not exist. And there were times growing up where my parents faced financial trouble, like anybody's parents. So there were moments that we had food insecurity. It happens. And if this kind of platform existed back then, it would have been a huge blessing to my parents and us as a family. So when I create content, that's what I think about. What could have helped back then when things were tough for my parents before this existed? And it really helps me come up with my content. I like to focus on the grocery budget because the grocery budget is the most flexible thing that we have in our budgets. Let's be honest. You can try to cut off your lights and save on electricity, but you don't really know what you're spending until you get that bill. Most bills in our budget can't be that flexible like a grocery budget. That is why I concentrate on that a lot on my channel. And it's where most of our money goes, let's be honest. We need food to survive. So that's why I like to focus on that. You do see me occasionally do like Christmas ideas. I do thrifting, clothing, things like that, household. I do include that in my channel, but I don't do a lot of it. I focus mainly on the grocery thing because that's my jam. So I have been thinking of a new series for May. Yes, we are a week into May. I know this. I am a bit delayed. And I've been trying to think, okay, Brooke, what is a good series for May? And when I create videos, I do series, things like that, my heart has to be in it. I have to feel kind of like a calling to do it. If I don't feel that when I make a video, you guys are going to be able to tell that my heart's not in it. Well, actually, I don't post videos like that. Because if I'm not in it, if my heart's not in it, if I don't feel a tug to do that video, I'm not going to do it. So I've been sitting here thinking, I have a ton of ideas in my brain, trying to think of a series for May. And which one do I want to do? And I do. I have tons of ideas. But the only one that I feel a calling to do, that little tug, is to do videos on food security. Such as stocking up on our pantries, doing the $5 emergency challenge. It's just what my heart says to do right now. So that's what I'm going to focus on this month. I am going to do videos in between because I love doing videos, cooking things. That's my thing. I love it. I am going to do those still. But my series for the month, I'm going to do videos on our pantries. Now, let me explain why I like to focus on our emergency pantry and our food storage. The obvious, if you get sick one week and you can't go to work and your next paycheck is going to be really tiny, guess what? You can rely on that emergency food storage to get you by if you don't have a lot of money to spend on groceries. Another example, your car breaks down. You have to get it worked on. You don't have a lot of money to spend on groceries that week. You got your emergency food storage to get you by. So in an emergency situation, that will help save your butt. Another reason to have an emergency food storage is it helps save money in the long run. All these inflation prices are going crazy right now. If you find a good sale on an item that you can put in your emergency food storage, buy extra, put it in your food storage, and you just save money because you found it on sale and you don't have to buy it at the ridiculous inflated price. Convenience. You don't have to run to the grocery store all the time if you don't think that you have anything in your kitchen to cook. You can just go get in your emergency food storage and hello, you got something. So it's very helpful in that situation. It's also really helpful if there is a random pandemic that overtakes the world. You won't have to go out and panic shop. You will already have food in your home. So that helps. It also helps when there's shortages on things. When there's shortages on things, the price goes up really, really high. And if you have some already stored away in your home, you ain't gotta worry about that. Another thing, food security. Food security, guys. You ain't gotta worry about where that next meal is coming from. I know it happens. It happens to everybody. If they say that it has never happened, they are full of poo-poo and just don't want to talk about it. But let's be real here. It happens to the best of us. It happens to everybody. There are times when you are straight up panicking because you don't know what you're going to do because you don't have a lot of money and you got mouths to feed. Well, guess what? If you have a moment like that, you can rely on that food storage to help get you by. You don't have to worry about it. You do not have to worry about where that next meal's coming from because you already know. So that is why we focus on this. You buy home insurance hoping that you will never have to use it. You buy car insurance hoping that you will never have to use it. And you pay a monthly fee for all of this. Food, you need it. You will use it. You have to have it for survival. So why not invest your money in something you know you will need? You invest your money in your health insurance, your home insurance, flood insurance, car insurance, lots of different kind of insurances. Why do we not automatically invest in our survival? It just blows my mind. We were never taught to do that. I've been thinking a lot about this today and what my personal experience going to a public school here in America. I don't know if it's that way all over, but one thing that I realized today, we were taught about our basic needs in elementary school: shelter, food, clothing, water. We were taught about this. But we were never taught how to get it. Did they teach you how to preserve food in school? They didn't me. Did they teach you how to grow it? Not me. Did they teach you how to find water, drinkable water, purify that water so that you could drink it? Did they teach you how to dig a well, how to find a spring? Did they tell you how to build shelter in case of an emergency? Did they teach you how to start a fire? They never taught me any of that. And that is the basic needs of our existence. And they never taught us any of that. Oh, I know that we need math. Some people would argue me on that, but I know that there are things that we need that the school does offer. I'm not saying that the school is awful. But why were we not taught our basic survival needs? We were taught what they are, but not how to get them, not how to achieve them. Anyways, I'm done ranting about that. I like to do this thing that I call the $5 emergency pantry challenge. I like to focus on shelf stable because I have had incidences where my freezer goes kaput. Now I do have a freezer and I put things in my freezer, but I like to just mainly focus on shelf stable. You can include freezer items in this as well. I do that a lot sometimes. So what we do, we take $5 a week, $5, and we buy items for our food storage, which could be anything from canned veggies, dry beans, grains, flour, cornmeal, oil, seasonings, pasta sauce, anything that is shelf stable that you use. Don't buy anything that you don't use normally because it'll just sit there. So buy things that you use and put in your food storage for just in case. We're going to do this together. Every Friday, I'm going to upload a video of things that we were putting in our food storage. We're going to talk about preserving food. We're going to talk about gardening. And I'm saving it all for my Friday video. We're going to do this and it's going to be fun. And hopefully this will help some people out. And you guys can leave me tips and tricks in the comments down there because I am still learning and I love to learn new things. We can do this together. Okay, this is going to be fun. I'm really excited about this. This is my jam. This is my thing. We are going to fight food insecurity together. And I didn't mention this before. Another reason why it's so great to have emergency food storage set aside. If your family or friends, loved ones, even a stranger, has no food, they're having a hard time, you can help them. You can give them something from your emergency food storage and it will work and it will help. So that's a big plus. Helping others. It's great. We don't want anybody to go without food. Nobody should have to go without food. Food should be a basic human right. Everybody should have access to food. This is why I think in schools it should be taught how to get food, how to grow food, how to preserve food, how to store food. It should be taught in schools. It is a big reason why I homeschool. I have probably 4,000 reasons why I homeschool my kids. That is probably one of them. And my boys, we put it in our everyday curriculum to do stuff like that. They already know how to grow a garden. They help me can. They help me preserve our food. I think it should be taught. This knowledge does not need to be lost. Future generations need to know how to do this. I understand that over time, society has gotten more modern and people have gotten used to the new things and they don't have to rely on the basics like preserving your own food. They can just go to the grocery store. But what are they going to do if something happens and they can't just do that? You can't go through life without that knowledge, I think. I think everyone should know. Even if you don't use it, you should know. Because it's really important. It's basic survival. I have personally known families who they're doing real well financially, like back in the recession in like 2007, 2008, whatever it was. They were doing really well and they never had to rely on help or anything like that. And that recession happened and they lost their jobs and they didn't know what to do. They had no idea. They didn't even know what food stamps were. Because they had never had to rely on anything like that, which is great, but they didn't know how to grow a garden. They didn't know how to preserve their own food. They didn't know how to make something out of nothing. They didn't know how to go from $200 a week in groceries to $50. They didn't know how to do that. And it's just something I think is really important for everybody to know, even if you're not in a financial hardship, because you never know what can happen. And yes, it's just really important for me to share this with everyone. And I'm really excited for this. And I hope you guys are too. So every Friday I will be posting a video focused on food preservation, food storage. We'll be doing our weekly $5 pantry stock up challenge. I hope you guys take part in this with me. If you have not started an emergency food storage yet, I encourage you to do so and we can do this together. Okay, I'm done babbling. I babbled enough tonight. And I will see you guys next video. This was just an impromptu video, and I just wanted to talk to you guys. I'm sorry if it's boring. I'm sorry, but I love you guys. I'll see you guys later. Remember, as always, be positive no matter what. Be kind, and I love you guys. Be happy, and let others be happy.